2014, in New Jersey, a couple bought their dream house for $1.3 million, but what they didn't know was that it came with a stalker. Before they moved in, they were renovating the house, and they kept checking the mail and finding mysterious letters from somebody who called themselves the Watcher. This was the first letter that was left for them, and whoever this person was, they claimed that their family had been stalking this house since the 1920s. As the weeks went by, these letters started getting creepier and creepier. They claimed that they were very angry about the renovations the family was doing to the new home. And they referred to the couple's 3 children as young blood and said that they couldn't wait for them to move in. They also claimed that there was something mysterious hidden in the walls of the house, and that one day it would all be revealed. Now, the couple feared for their lives and for their children's lives, so they never actually moved into this house. It took them 5 years to sell it and a loss of about $400,000. Police were never able to find out who the Watcher was.
This is why you should always live stream at night. A girl was getting ready for bed when she heard footsteps downstairs. She decided to check it out, searched downstairs, and found nothing. She thought it was odd, so she ran back upstairs. She set her phone on her desk to live stream herself sleeping to see what all these noises were. She then hopped in bed and went to sleep. She wakes up in the morning and immediately runs to her phone. She noticed there was 5,000 people watching and the whole chat was spamming "Get out now." Her confused begins rewinding the live stream to see what all these people were talking about. She rewinds the stream and finds spirits running up and down the stairs. If you want to see live streams like this, click the link in my bio to download Big O Live. Big O Live is an amazing app where you can literally go live to thousands of people in minutes. So if you can't go live on TikTok yet, you can download Big O Live and literally just start building a community. And for all my gamers out there, if you guys want to play Among Us, you can download Big O Live and you can all be in a sort of like FaceTime call to communicate during the emergency meeting. Click the link in my bio to download it and click the button that says Big O Live. Thank you guys.
This is why you should always trust your gut. Sabrina was about to head to college, but she had one big insecurity, her glasses, so she felt really excited when she finally scheduled her LASIK surgery. During her initial consultation with her doctor, though, she noticed some strange behaviors. He'd always scratch the top of his hairline, sometimes every few minutes. She also caught him trying to write with the cap of his pen still on and looking confused about why no ink was coming out. But she just brushed it off. She was excited to never wear glasses again, so she decided to go ahead with it. During surgery, she felt a dash of darkness. She felt something pull on her eye. It wasn't painful due to the numbing drops that she'd used, but she could still feel it. She thought this must be normal. Until a few weeks later, she woke up and her eyes were bloodshot. She went into her bathroom and saw that she had a huge lump under her eye. She tried to blink, but she couldn't close her eyes all the way. And as Sabrina leaned closer to the mirror to try and touch it, she saw in her own reflection something alive was moving inside.
Now, I recently just got asked to do a story about the urban legend Baby Blue. At first, I was like, alright, I'll have a look. But when I did some research, I found a recent incident that is terrifying. So keep watching. Now, Baby Blue's a strange game that kids play in the bathroom. You go in by yourself, lock the door, and turn off all the light. You stare into the mirror while holding out your arms and repeating the words, "Baby Blue, Blue Baby," 13 times. Now, you can't make a mistake, and if you do it right, you feel the weight of an evil, invisible baby in your arm. The baby's said to start scratching you as it gets larger and larger. Now, they say before it gets too heavy, you need to flush it down the toilet, unlock the door, and run away. Because if you don't, an evil woman will break the glass screaming, "Give back my baby." And this is exactly where the problem started for Marina Cameron in 2018. See, she did it as a joke while babysitting her little sister and some friends at a sleepover. Yeah, that's right, she was the babysitter. They not only said they heard her screaming, but they also heard her baby crying. And when they tried to break down the door, they couldn't get in because it was locked. She was later found dead on the floor. No one knows why.
This is why you should never go to a stranger's house alone. There was once a boy named Bryce who loved raisins. He loved them so much that he wanted to impress his high school crush, Jenny, with his homemade raisins. He thought it was more satisfying to make his own. His raisins didn't have any preservatives. He just left them outside and let the sun do its work. The smell was his favorite part. He invited Jenny to his house and was so excited when she accepted. At first, Jenny thought it was strange that Bryce was so into raisins, but she brushed it off as a unique hobby. Jenny arrived at Bryce's home. After a while, she then turned to Bryce and said, "Where are the raisins? Show me where you make them." Bryce motioned for her to follow him into the backyard. As soon as she entered, she let out a horrified scream. Bryce regretted what he did next. He just wanted her to stop screaming, so he took the nearby rock and hit her on the head until it stopped. He didn't realize that when he told Jenny he loved to make raisins, she thought that he meant those dried up grapes. But why waste the body now? Bryce decided he would turn Jenny into a raisin. So he carried her body and laid her down in the yard next to all the others.
Urban legends to haunt you. The spider bite. A woman was vacationing on a beach somewhere overseas. While laying on the beach, she fell asleep and a spider bit her unknowingly. She woke up with the side of her face feeling a bit sore, but thought it was just because of a sunburn. After her vacation, she returned home and her face began to swell even more. Eventually, a boil formed on her face and began to really itch. She eventually went to go visit a doctor who opened up the boil, and soon he discovered thousands of tiny spiders spilling out. The woman was so horrified that she went into shock right there and died of a heart attack.
Here is the most haunted movie of all time. And when I mean haunted movie, I don't mean like actual scary, I mean like genuinely haunted, like bad things happen because of this movie. A lot of people may know this, but I don't think everybody is informed on it. Today's movie is called The Exorcist. This movie was made in 1973, and the things that happened because of this movie is literally just, it cannot be a coincidence. While shooting one of the scenes, Ellen's harness broke, leaving her with a permanent spine injury. And what's even scarier than that is if you watch the movie, when she screams, it's not like a fake scream, like that was real. Jack and another actor who were scripted to die in the movie actually died in real life. And if that's not scary enough, 7 more people a part of the film all died from unexplained causes. There's still a lot more, it just gets worse and worse. While filming the movie, it was lightning, and this 400-year-old cross that was sitting on the building got struck by lightning and fell right in the middle of all of them. And if that's not bad enough, also while filming the movie, people would randomly just pass out like completely. Make sure to like and follow if you guys want more of these. I will see you guys tomorrow.
Today I'll be telling you the story of the woman who was buried alive. Once there was an old couple who lived together on the edge of town. They had been together for so long they knew everything about each other and even finished each other's sentences. But one day the woman got really sick and passed away. The man was devastated because that was his one true love. The next day they had her funeral. He was so saddened by her death he tried to jump in the coffin with her as they were lowering it, but everyone had to hold him back. After the funeral, he came home to an empty house. He was really sad and decided to just go to sleep. And in the middle of the night, he heard scratches. He didn't know where they were coming from, so he looked. And then when he couldn't find it, he decided to just go back to sleep. After hearing the scratches again, he rolled over in bed only to see his wife outside the window scratching the window, with her eyes hollow and her mouth open, silently screaming. When he ran to open the window, the figure vanished. Part 2 is already up. Today I'll be telling you about the woman who was buried alive, Part 2. So like I said in the previous video, as he ran to the window, the figure vanished. Afterwards, he immediately called the doctor and demanded his wife's body be exhumed from the grave. After the doctor denied, he started seeing apparitions of his wife every night continuously until he couldn't stand it anymore and decided to just get dressed and dig her body up himself. After the old man dug up his wife's coffin, he pried it open, only to see that his wife's mouth was open and frozen, and she looked like she was terrified. And on the lids of the coffin were scratch marks, and her fingernails were all off. The fingers of her skin were worn down to the bone. She was buried alive.